Yeah, and rightly so, Paul. One of my heroes growing up, I'll be honest with you, getting into the early 90s when Rangers signed him from Hibernian for, I think it was £1 million. That was the players like McCoy, and Duran, Goffs, McCalls, Fergusons, and Loudrops and Gascoignes. But Andy Goram, when you a wee boy down the park and you get shoved in goals for your 5 minute spell, I always used to kid on. I was Andy Goram, so he was certainly one of my heroes growing up. When we got the news 10 weeks ago that he had terminal cancer, they'd given him 6 months to live, and he's only lasted 10 weeks. It was really sad news, and watch Sky Sports. Some of the pictures of him playing with Rangers, some of the saves that he made. He was a phenomenal goalkeeper, no doubt about it. So it was a sad day when the news came through on Saturday morning, Paul.
So many of your old colleagues have been on, and Celtic players as well. They're today in the paper. Look at the back page there. Pierre Van Hooijdonk saying, Andy, you were unbelievable. And that was maybe one of the finest saves you ever saw against Pierre Van Hooijdonk in an Old Firm derby. Yes.
Unbelievable save. I remember Tommy Burns' famous quote about Andy Goram. But when you're watching back the footage, some of the saves that he made, and certainly against Celtic, were phenomenal saves. And it was interesting to see his career getting let go at West Brom. I was watching it close. They thought he was too small, went to Oldham and worked his way up, got his move to Hibs, and then he became an absolute legend at Rangers. And then also went on to continue to play after that at Motherwell. Had a spell at Man United as well.
What a spell.
Yep, and went down the leagues in Scotland. But listen, one of my favourite players and one of my heroes growing up.
And people say never meet your heroes, but in your case,
I've met plenty of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've met plenty. I mean, he was a top player. As I said, you growing up a Rangers player, why could you not want to be like Andy Goram or as the players that I mentioned, McCoy and Durrants and McCalls and Ferguson, guys like that. But his attitude, that was one of the things. He was a winner, a proper winner. You could see it in him when he was playing the Rangers. If he lost a goal, and I remember as a young kid watching him at training, if somebody scored against him in training, he would go absolute mental, put the ball away. That's the standards that he had, and that's the standards that you had to have if you wanted to be a Rangers player.
And of course, another goalkeeper followed him, didn't he? A few years later, but Alan McGregor has that same attitude. He hates to lose anything.
Exactly the same attitude. Probably around about the same size as the goalie.
Slightly taller
as well. Yeah, no much taller. And a lot of people say you need to be 6 foot plus to be a top goalkeeper. But Andy Goram and Alan McGregor are top goalkeepers, and they're not the biggest of people.
And for Scotland as well, he was a hero. I remember at the World Cup in 1990, and I remember beforehand in 98, actually over in France, and he wasn't happy that he was dropped beforehand, and he came back from America in one of them because he thought, well, if I'm not going to play, I'm not going to stay out here at the camp, because he had his own mind.
Yeah, he believed that he was the number one. I think if you ask the players that were involved in that squad at the time, they would probably have says. I mean, Jim Leighton was an excellent goalkeeper as well, but I mean, Andy Goram was top class. But look, as I said, it was when you get the news 10 weeks ago, you've got 6 months to live. It's a bit of a shock when over the last week you've heard a few people say that he's went downhill slightly and whatever. And to get the news in Saturday morning, yeah, it was devastating, to be honest.